All right, welcome back to Flashpoint. Joining us today, Carrie Olinski, a Republican running for city council at large. Carrie, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right, so number one priority if you get elected to city council.
So for me, public safety is definitely the number one thing, maybe followed by education. But for me, I feel for city council, we need to keep our citizens. And so I want to be able to support our Charlotte-Mecklenburg police. I think they are a great police force, and I just want to make sure that they feel respected, they feel that we're in communication with them, and ultimately being able to do their jobs even better for them to keep us safe by giving them and helping them getting the resources that they need to make sure that they can do their job more effectively and efficiently.
I hear you, and I think a lot of people hear you and say, that sounds great, that sounds good, but are you by then saying that, inferring that current city council is not doing that?
Well, I think there was, from what I've been able to hear and speaking with people, it sounds like there needs to be more lines of communication that are open. I'm not saying that they did it poorly. I'm just saying I think that it could be better.
And public safety, you say number one. After public safety, what do you feel like are some of the other priorities that you feel not only yourself, if elected, but the entire council should be tackling right now?
Well, I said education, and what I mean more so by that is not just obviously education in terms of the traditional sense that we're used to with schoolings and things like that, but in terms of educating people in skills that for workforce development. There's a lack of jobs in terms of first responders. There's also we see that in terms of the busing, that there's lack of jobs there, and I think that in terms of making transportation more efficient, we could be able to fill those spots. And so being able to provide training and skills into our residents to be able to fill these things, I think can act as twofold to not only provide jobs and fill those spots, but also be able to give back into the residents to allow them to have livable wages so that they can support their family, to allow them to be able to live in the homes. But we know that, rising cost of housing is a huge issue. And so this might be an opportunity for us to be able to allow people to have those livable wages to support themselves.
You mentioned affordable housing. That's one thing that this current city council has been grappling with and will likely continue to grapple with. What in your mind can be done about something that is so vast and so complicated and reaches just about every part of the city?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I even know we bought our house back in 2018, and I know that I couldn't afford my house now. And so we're seeing this across the board in the city. It is a huge issue. It is a very complex issue. And that's where I feel like going back into being able to support residents and to give them skills to be able to do the jobs that they can support themselves, and also giving them access to home ownership.
Going forward, when we look at the transit plan, the transformational mobility network plan that includes, different rails, buses, greenways, sidewalks, the whole thing, how are we going to finally get it done?
I mean, I think all of them intertwine, right? We have transportation and housing and the jobs, all of them are intertwined. And it is a massive thing to undertake. I think in the short term, one of the biggest things we need to look at and find more solutions for are the efficiency of the transportation, getting people to be able to their jobs on time and making it be reliable. And I brought up the fact of, I know that CATS drivers, they're trying to fill those positions. And so I think if we can get more bus drivers there and allow the transportation to be more reliable, we can be able to support some of these other things that we're trying to work on. And again, bringing it back with transportation and public safety, I really do think, when you drive by, you constantly see people on the side of the road waiting for their bus stop, and there's no supporting structures to be able to protect them. I think protect them from traffic coming in people speed. So we have to watch for bystanders' safety, as well as also against the elements, or if they're having to wait there for long periods of time. So I'd love to be able to see structures to be able to support them while they are waiting for their bus to come and pick them up.
I think it's been since maybe Edwin Peacock, longtime Flashpoint. The viewers will correct me if I'm wrong. I think he might have been the last Republican at-large member on council. That was going back about 10 years ago. How do you hope to break what is a streak here in this city of electing only Democrats to at-large seats?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously going to be, it's going to be an uphill battle, but I think people are starting to kind of see, and one reason why I actually got into running, I didn't have a real big push to run, but what has really pushed me to run, especially this year, was that we were seeing a decline in our city in various points, and everyone has more of a passion one way or another. But for me, we're seeing more people rise up and stand to want to make a change in the city. And I think also residents are seeing that too. They're seeing where we were and where we are now. And I think they're wanting to see that change.
All right, final question. It's a two-parter. Your favorite thing about Charlotte and the thing that drives you crazy.
So I think most people can agree with me that the thing that kind of drives us crazy is the traffic and congestion that we're seeing in Charlotte. But on a positive note, Charlotte is so active. When I moved here from Raleigh 6 years ago, one of the ways I tried to get involved into the city to try to meet people were just going to all the activities there had to offer. Festivals, there's boot camps, there's run clubs. As a provider, a medical provider, I want to see a safe, balanced, healthy city. And I think Charlotte, especially pre-COVID, I think we're getting back to that post-COVID, but it is such an active city. It has so much to offer. The line is Charlotte's got a lot. I really think that's true. And I was really happy to move here and meet so many different people of all different backgrounds because there was so much to offer that we could get into and be a part of.
Carrie Olinski, Republican running for City Council. Carrie, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, more Flashpoint after this.